What if I told you most businesses don't fail because of bad strategy, but because they are obsessed with the wrong thing? Not lack of money, not lack of talent, but because they're chasing profit instead of people. Sounds controversial, right? Let me make it real for you. Imagine walking into a restaurant where the owner is focused only on how fast they can take your money, not how well they serve your experience. You feel it immediately. The food may be decent, but something is off. Now compare that to a place where they genuinely care, where they remember your name, your preference, even how you like your coffee. Where do you go back? Exactly. That simple difference is the difference between surviving and building something that lasts. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. If you focus only on profit, you might make money. But if you focus on people, you build an empire. Now here's the question I want you to think about. Are you building something people need or just something you can sell? Because that answer will determine everything. Hey, if you're into real down-to-earth money talks and mindset shifts that actually teach you something, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And listen, before we go any further, I want to say this clearly. Stay with me till the end of this video, because what I'm about to share isn't theory, it's not motivational fluff. These are lessons built over decades, through risks, failures and breakthroughs that can completely change how you think about success, business, and even your life. And if you truly understand them, you won't just be inspired, you'll start moving differently. Let me begin with something very simple, yet very powerful. We are not business obsessed. We are not profit obsessed. We are customer obsessed. And that single idea has quietly shaped everything we have built at Reliance Industries. Now think about this for a moment. When you truly obsess over the customer, not occasionally, not strategically, but consistently, something interesting happens. You stop asking, what can we sell? And you start asking, what problem can we solve? That shift changes everything. So dream big, not casually, not as a weekend hobby, but as a commitment, a responsibility to yourself. Because here is something I have come to believe after decades of building, failing, learning, and rebuilding again. Your life will rarely rise above the size of your vision. If your vision is small, your effort will be small. If your vision is confused, your results will be scattered. But if your vision is clear and aligned with who you truly are, then something powerful happens. Your energy stops leaking and starts focusing. On point 1, courage is foundational. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you did something that genuinely scared you? Not uncomfortable, not inconvenient, but something that made you pause and think, am I really ready for this? Because here is the truth. No one builds anything meaningful without stepping into fear. Every major decision I have taken, every expansion, every new sector, every bold move came with uncertainty. And yes, sometimes fear. People assume that leaders are fearless. That is not true. We feel fear, we just don't let it make decisions for us. Think of fear like a shadow. The bigger your dream, the larger the shadow it casts. But here's the paradox. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. I remember moments in our journey where the stakes were enormous, where one wrong decision could have set us back years. But my father would say, if you are not slightly afraid, your goal is not big enough. And I realized something. Fear is not your enemy. It is your indicator. It shows you where growth is hiding. Imagine you are driving a car. If you keep staring at the potholes, what happens? You hit them. But if you focus on the road ahead, your hands naturally steer you around the obstacles. Life works the same way. Too many people spend their lives analyzing problems instead of advancing towards solutions. They say, the market is tough, the competition is strong, the economy is uncertain. And all of that may be true. But here's a better question. What are you building despite all of that? At Reliance, we didn't wait for perfect conditions. We built through uncertainty, because clarity of goal creates resilience of action. Type that in the comments section and I will give you a heart. Clarity of goal creates resilience of action. Point 2. Empathy, the most underrated superpower. In business, people often talk about strategy, capital, technology. Rarely do they talk about empathy. And yet, empathy is what sustains everything else. I call it Dil Ki Daulat, the wealth of the heart. The more you give it, the richer you become. Let me make this real for you. Imagine two leaders. One treats employees like numbers, the other treats them like human beings, with dreams, struggles, and dignity. Who do you think builds a stronger organization? Who inspires loyalty? Who creates innovation? The answer is obvious, because when people feel seen, they give more than effort. They give commitment. We often think money is the most important currency in business. It is not. Trust is the real currency. My father built Reliance not by depending on large institutions, but by earning the trust of ordinary people. Small investors, middle-class families, everyday citizens. They believed in us, and that belief became our foundation. Think about this. Money can come and go, but when people trust you, they invest more than money. They invest belief, and belief is powerful. So ask yourself, are you building transactions or relationships? Because transactions end, relationships compound. We are living in one of the most exciting times in human history. Technology is no longer optional. It is the engine of progress. But technology alone is not enough. It is technology combined with talent that creates transformation. At Reliance, every major leap we took was powered by this combination. We embraced new technologies early, and we partnered with the best minds to execute them. Let me simplify it. Technology is like a powerful car. Talent is the driver. Without the right driver, even the best car goes nowhere. Point 3. Purpose must be bigger than profit. Let me challenge a common belief. Many people think the goal of business is to make money. I disagree. Money is a result, not the purpose. If money is your only goal, your journey will feel empty. But if your goal is to create impact, to solve problems, to build systems, to generate opportunities, then money becomes a byproduct. My father believed deeply in this. He would say, a business that only makes money is not worth building. And when you think about it, the companies that last are not the ones that chase profit. They are the ones that create value. Let me ask you something honestly. Do you truly believe in yourself? Not on good days, not when things are working, but on the days when everything feels uncertain. Because that is when it matters. Confidence is not built from success. It is built from persistence. There were times when our journey didn't look promising from the outside, but internally we never lost belief, because belief is what keeps you moving when evidence is missing. Point 4. My personal reflection. When I joined Reliance in the early 1980s, it was a much smaller organization. We were not the giant people see today, but we had something powerful. A vision. A belief that we could build something meaningful, not just for ourselves, but for the country. And over time, through consistency, risk-taking, and learning, that vision turned into reality. Now let me turn this back to you. You are living in a time where opportunities are exponentially larger than before. Technology has leveled the playing field. Access is no longer the limitation. Mindset is. So the real question is not, can you succeed? The real question is, will you dare to try at the level required? If you're getting value from this message and you want me to continue, like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't get to miss out on any of our videos. I drop messages like this daily to build your mindset and finances. Thank you. Let's continue. Point 5. The Golden Decade. As we step into what I call our Golden Decade, we find ourselves in a position that very few organizations in the world ever reach. Not just scale, not just resources, but readiness. Readiness built over decades of discipline, of learning, of making mistakes and learning faster from them. Let me put it this way. Most companies spend years trying to survive. A few manage to grow, but only a rare few reach a stage where they can truly transform industries. And today we are standing at that exact point. So let me ask the next generation of leaders a very direct question. Do you see what is in front of you? Not just the opportunity, but the responsibility. Because opportunity without responsibility is just potential. But when the two come together, it becomes destiny. I have absolute faith that the next generation of Reliance leaders will not just continue what we have built, they will multiply it. They will redefine it. They will take it to places even we did not imagine. Everything I am today, everything I have learned, every success, every mistake, every lesson has been shaped by this institution, by the people, by the journey, and by the values instilled in me by my father, Dhirubhai Ambani. He taught me something very profound. An organization is not built in boardrooms. It is built in the hearts of its people. Type that in the comments section and I'll give you a heart. Point 6. A lesson from experience. Let me share something practical. There were times in our journey when things did not go according to plan. Projects were delayed, markets shifted, expectations were not met. And in those moments we had two choices: focus on what went wrong or focus on what we can do next. And every single time we chose the second, we moved forward. Because progress is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Late nights, difficult decisions, moments of doubt, followed by moments of courage. Success is never a solo achievement. It is always a collective effort. Let me ask you something that may sound simple, but is actually quite deep. Are you just working, or are you building something meaningful? Because there is a difference. Work gives you income, but meaning gives you fulfillment. And the most successful people I have met in life are not just successful in what they do. They are fulfilled in why they do it. So let me ask you, do you feel fulfilled in what you do? Point 7. Balancing ambition and humanity. As we grow bigger, stronger, and more influential, there is one thing we must never lose: our humanity. Because growth without values is dangerous. But growth with values, that is what creates legacy. More innovation, more discipline, more courage. Before you move on from this moment, I want you to think about one thing. Not your role, not your title, not your profession, but your contribution to your personal development. So ask yourself, what am I building that will last beyond me? How am I making life better for someone else? Am I just doing my job, or am I creating value? And here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow, when you begin your day, do one thing differently. Just one. Serve one customer better. Support one colleague more. Solve one problem creatively, because greatness is not built in giant leaps. It is built in small, consistent acts of excellence. I want you to sit with yourself, without distractions, and ask yourself 3 questions. What is the one goal I am afraid to pursue? Am I focusing more on obstacles or outcomes? Am I building something that truly matters? And then, take one step. Not a perfect step, not a giant step, just one honest step forward. Because greatness is not built in a day, it is built in the right quiet decisions, made daily. If you focus on your fears, you'll shrink. If you focus on your obstacles, you'll stall. But if you focus on your purpose, you'll rise. Now the question is, what will you choose? If this video brought you value or stirred something in you, give it a like, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Don't just watch and go away. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear what stuck with you the most. I'll see you on the next one.